tie a McCloud today. Here's a couple pictures, one from Fishing with the Fly and the other from Favorite Flies. As you can see, it's a pretty gaudy fly. Very pretty though. So start off by selecting a hook and build an underbody for it. And then you're just going to take your thread down to the tag tie-in point. Pretty much start it right in line with the point, and then go down to the base of the barb or all the way to the back side of the barb. Really personal preference. I kind of like shorter tags. And start off with a piece of oval tinsel. And nice edge-to-edge wraps as you go down. And tie it in on the back side of the hook. And then 3 or 4 wraps forward from where you tied it in at, and spiral wrap it up and out of your way. And nice tight edge-to-edge wraps, putting in catch as you work it up. Bring your thread back and behind the tinsel, pull it tight, put another wrap down. And hold your thread tight, and hold the tinsel on the back side, put a bend into it. Make sure it's nice and pretty. And good edge-to-edge wraps all the way up. Back to the point of the hook. Cut out a piece of yellow floss. And again, tie it in on the back side of the hook. And make it off. Work the floss down, edge to edge. And make sure it butts up right against that tinsel. As you come back up, you can do a slight overlap, and that'll help to build some more taper into it. Just take your time and keep an eye on it and make sure you have an evenly spaced taper going all the way up. Let's get back up, bring your thread back and behind it. Couple wraps down, keep it tight. Pull your thread nice and tight on the side of the hook. And trim out your waist. Apologize, somehow the focus got screwed up on the camera. And then just make sure everything's tied down good. And take your tail, tie that in. As you tie it in, just draw it slowly, and then periodically just twist the butts of those back into place on top of the shank. Make sure it's all in line with each other. And a few more wraps to secure it. And then prepare a mallard curly. And then bend it so that way it'll go up and over the tail, and it won't squish everything down. These have pretty thick, heavy stems, and I really crush that stem down and try to flatten it with my fingernails so that way it doesn't add a whole lot of bulk. Once you get the shape right, check it against your fly. Make any more adjustments that are needed. Set it on top. Hold it in position and bring the thread up and over it. As you tighten down on it, make sure it's not crushing your tail. You can see it'll push down on it a little bit, you just don't want to flatten it. Like I said, that's a pretty thick, heavy stem on that. Again, minor adjustments may be needed. And when I tie that in, it's just off to the near side of the center line. That's just so you can get your wing right over center, and then the tail will be sitting just in front of the wing a little bit. You're really going to have to put really, really tight wraps on that. Really cinch down on that. Just be careful when you trim it out. Cut the stem at an angle too so it'll taper. And go in and taper the butts from your tail to help smooth out that transition. Make sure it's sitting in the right position. Alright, now tie in a piece of red floss. And make it off. Again, edge to edge wraps with the floss. Have that butt right up to your tag and the base of all the tail elements. And then work your floss back up. Put your floss and catch, bring your thread up and behind it. Two good tight wraps. Keep tension on it. Snug your floss up and bring it off to the side and trim it out. And tie in your gold oval tinsel for your rib. And I had that run all the way up to the head of the fly. Just want to maintain the body thickness the whole way. And then above that you tie in your floss. And tie it all in. Adjusting the floss and tinsel as you go up. Keep it all in line with the original tie-in point. Really secure that down. And make it off. Work your floss up. With a slight overlap on the floss. Your underbody should provide your taper, so you don't need to build it with your floss. It's almost edge to edge wraps. Just take your time. Switch hands if you need to. Sometimes it's easier to go that way over the fly than deal with the thread at the head. As you can see, it's a pretty time-consuming process. Stop quite short of the front of the fly. You want to just make sure you have enough room for your wing and two shoulder hackles, as well as a wool head. That's probably 4 or 5 mils there. Tie it down good. And then do your rib. Nice, tight, evenly spaced ribbing. There's a mistake, go back and fix it. Tie it off. A few good wraps down. Hold your thread tight. Pull it up to the side. Trim out your tinsel and you're done on the body. Next will be the wing.